Report to the company building immediately to sell your scrap metal and other goods.
They're here. New crew. 3 of them now, so the bunk's going to be noisy again. I think I slept alright. The pickles were a little acidic, so I had a funny tummy most of the night. I knew they'd be here soon, so I quickly got dressed and brought the ship back to the company so they could embark. I don't think they're all new. One of them is another raccoon, Joy. Her name's Cassie. She seems fairly eager, which is nice, at least. Brings a little life to things until people realise there isn't really much more to the job than what this is, and that there can be even less to it when you end up in the bottom of a factory shaft or a creature's stomach. She likes her mask, though. I think she's just into safety gear generally. She's good with a gas canister, too. Second one is an Arctic fox called Marek. Very white fur, a little quiet, has a slightly discoloured nose. I didn't want to ask him about it, as he didn't look like he really wanted to be here. I offered him the freeze-dried orange juice for my lunch, though. Pickles were still acting up on my stomach, so I just had the water. The third member, though... Well, they fit the spare mask. They're big. I think they may have problems getting through the doorways. River. A hyena. Big. A bite taken out of their left ear and a scar across their snout. I tried not to look at too much else because it was a little overwhelming and the pickles were tying my stomach up. I mean, it had to be in the pickles, right? But I did see they have very strong arms. I think they'll be alright with the engines. And using the shovel. They look like they've done this before, and sound like it, and are very nice to me. They didn't even comment on how big my glasses are. And they smiled, with lots of fang. I don't remember a lot of what happened after that until suddenly we were landing again. River had their gear on and we asked who was staying inside. I said I was used to it and could probably direct them a bit, so they gave my shoulder a squeeze and left with Marek and Cassie. You can get very attached to a blue dot. I hadn't paid a lot of attention before, but in the time after they left, I just found myself watching it. River. Not just because I have to, but... Anyway, thankfully it wasn't very busy. Everything seemed to be far away from them, or maybe River was big enough that they didn't want to mess with them. Made about half Quota in one trip. Sausage maker, plastic knives, hand exerciser, bathroom scales, colouring book, pair of pink earmuffs, and a right shoe, size 8.5. As it's a new rotation, I let them pick which bunk they wanted. They're really only made for a standard-sized creature, so there's more room for me and probably less for ones like River. Cassie took top, Marek second, and River asked for the bottom bunk. So I'm a little higher from the ground now. River said they wanted the floor bunk as they're big enough they just flop out of it and might as well sleep on the floor anyway. I hope it's comfy for them. I mean, it sounds it from here. If I look round, I can see them all, and River's big enough that it's making my bunk push up a little when they breathe. I like their ears. Even with the bite taken out of one. When the ship took off and the door wasn't shut yet, I could see them shaking in the wind. They stood out on the deck till the last second, watching the moon soar away beneath us. I was worried they wouldn't make it in. Seen videos where folks don't do that in time and, well, you lose some quota. But they were fine. They knew. I think they liked the rush, maybe. They remind me a little of those miners I hear about. The stocky ones with big beards and huge pickaxes that shoot bugs inside moons they dive into. We could do with some guns. Well, given how some of the crew behave, maybe that'd be a bad idea. Can barely trust them with a light switch some days. That reminds me, I'm going to tape that down now. Someone's going to move it and we'll never find it again. At least I'll always know where River is.